the island of Tahiti, in French Polynesia, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Today, our society is multicultural. Polynesian, Europeans, and Chinese people live together. Our Polynesian ancestors arrived 1,500 years ago on the Outriders, and they settled in the whole Polynesian triangle and our island. The first contact with the Europeans took place in the 18th century with the voyage of Wallis, Bougainville, and Cook. They discovered our paradise, and afterwards many Europeans came to live here. In the middle of the 19th century, another community arrived, the Chinese community. Here, at Aorai High School, the focus of our Erasmus Plus project entitled "It's My Life, It's My Choice" was this Chinese community. When did the Chinese people arrive?
In Tahiti, there were 3 waves of Chinese immigration. The first one was in 1865, the second in 1907 till 1914, and the last one in 1920 and 1928. The first wave of Chinese immigration was in 1865. 1,010 Chinese immigrants arrived in Tahiti. They arrived by boat from China. There were only men, there were neither women nor children. There were Akas and Puntis coming from Canton, the capital city of the province of Guangdong in the southeastern China near Hong Kong. The first Chinese immigrants arrived on the 25th of March 1865 by boat from Hong Kong. The Ferdinand Broom, there were 342 men. The second ship was the Spray of the Ocean. She arrived on the 8th of December 1865 with 342 Chinese men on board. And the third one, the Albertine, arrived with 339 men on the 6th of January 1866.
Why did these Chinese men come to Tahiti? In 1860, it became possible for Chinese citizens to leave China. Most of them were poor peasants who left China to make a living and to have a better life. At the end of the Opium War, in 1860, Europe had China import labor force into their colonies, and this marked the beginning of the Chinese immigration. Chinese people got right, and the uproar allowed them to leave their country, and thus Chinese immigration in Oceania started. Since the abolition of slavery in France in 1848, big landowners needing to find cheap and fearless workforce, and Chinese immigration totally fit the bill in 1865. The 1,010 Chinese men who immigrated to Tahiti were coolies, a word used for Asian workers. They came to work in Atimaono's cotton field. At that time, Tahiti was a French protectorate, and these Chinese farmers had work contract in William Stewart plantation in Atimaono.
There was a cotton protection in Tahiti because it was the Civil War in the USA and there was not enough cotton production.
This first wave of immigration authorized by the French administration marked the true settlement of the Chinese community in Tahiti.
They were all identified by numbers. It was decided by the French administration in order to overcome problems of language, the complexity of their names, and to better control them. Those first Chinese immigrants were integrated quickly because they married with Polynesian women and their children were raised in the Polynesian culture. In 1865, the Civil War ended in US and the American content business started again. In 1874, William Stewart Protection went bankrupt. Then, after Atimauno Content Company went bankrupt, about 350 Chinese returned to China and around 230 stayed in Tahiti, opened small shop and become shopkeeper in Tahiti.
The second and third waves of immigration.
During the second 1907 and 1914 and third 1921 and 1928 wave of immigration, 4,500 Chinese immigrants came to live in Tahiti. Among them, there were 600 women. The first Chinese women arrived in Tahiti in 1907. They came to Tahiti to find a husband or a fiancé. They often were arranged marriage. Before the arrival of Chinese women in Tahiti, children with a Chinese father didn't know Chinese traditions. With the Chinese women arriving, these children receive and learn their Chinese traditions. That's why the Chinese women were the keepers of traditions in Tahiti, and why now in Tahiti the Chinese culture is still alive.
In 1949, China became communist and Chinese people decided to stay in French Polynesia.
If they went back to communist China, they could not return to Tahiti.
The Chinese population in Tahiti stopped thinking about returning to their home country.
And in 1973, almost 100 years after their arrival, the law finally granted French citizenship to almost all the 10,000 Chinese in French Polynesia.
Then, the Chinese who were living in Tahiti became French citizens.
And now, we all live together here in Tahiti.
Yes, now we all live here in Tahiti. 45 years ago, Chinese in Tahiti were granted French citizenship. How has the community evolved? So let's go to see what is going on in our Aorai High School. In our school, many teachers are from Chinese background. With the French citizenship, they could become civil servants.
In 1973, the French law citizenship allowed most of the Chinese living in Tahiti to work legally. Thanks to it, I am a civil servant working for the French government as a teacher in Aorai High School. My Chinese ancestors came from China, from the Canton region. I am now the fourth generation living in Tahiti, and I am well integrated.
I'm Chinese, and I'm a teacher in this high school. I feel very important here.
I feel like a real Polynesian. All my friends are Polynesian, but sometimes I remember my Chinese culture.
Our teachers from Chinese background feel very comfortable in our school. And what about the students?
My name is Naina. It's a Polynesian name, and my last name is Shangximen. It's a Chinese name. I feel Polynesian, but I don't know my Chinese ancestors, and I really want to know about them.
My father told me that my great-great-grandmother was Chinese, but I don't know anything about her. So I'm going to do my family tree.
Hello, my name is Kai Sheng. I am a Chinese from Tahiti. All my ancestors are Chinese. They were Hakka on my father's side and Punti on my mother's side. just know a little bit of my Chinese culture, and I would like to learn more about it.
Oceana, do you have Chinese ancestor as well?
Yes, my great-great-grandfather was Chinese, but I've got ancestors from France and United States as well.
And how do you feel here?
Very well, of course. I'm a Polynesian, proud of my different roots.
I've got Chinese ancestors as well, and I didn't know anything about them. And in our school, many students of Chinese origin, and they don't know their family roots. And today, they are really eager to knowing about them. And thanks to Erasmus project, we have done research with the help of a Chinese genealogist, Mr. Louis Shen Seifan.
Louis, peux-tu nous aider à retrouver nos ancêtres chinois?
Assurément, et avec grand plaisir. C'est faire découvrir à nos jeunes leur histoire, leur culture, etc. Donc, je m'aperçois que, en particulier votre génération, même celle de vos parents, connaissent très peu sur les origines, en fait sur vos racines, qu'elles soient d'ordre culturel ou d'ordre génétique.
Je suis même plus qu'heureux de votre démarche, parce que vous êtes à la recherche de ce qui est essentiel pour chaque individu, la connaissance de ses racines. Les jeunes de Polynésie, nous le savons, ont au moins 3 origines génétiques. L'origine européenne, l'origine chinoise et l'origine polynésienne. Bon, comment je vais procéder pour vous aider? Tout simple. Hein? Tu as déjà fait des recherches toi-même sur tes ancêtres, ta famille se fait sûrement l'idée. En général, les grands-parents ont déjà leur âge de connaissance. Donc, ce que je te propose, c'est que tu m'apportes tout ce que tu sais. On va combiner avec les recherches que j'ai faites et je te garantis que très rapidement, tu vas découvrir l'ensemble de tes ancêtres.
This is a rose. It shows the descendants, that is to say, all the person wish from the first ancestors. It was important for me to know my Chinese ancestors. Every human being needs to know their roots. Mr. Shan Seifan helped me to find my Chinese ancestors. I was able to learn more about my Chinese roots. I found out I have Chinese origin from both my father and my mother's sides. I will only present you the result from my mother's family roots. I will present my Martinez genealogical roots, where in the center they are my great-great-great-grandfather, whose name was Huang Vong Choi. He had my great-great-grandfather, William Lu On Vong, with Chin, my great-great-great-grandmother.
William Luon Vong married a Tahitian woman, Te Tuteariri Taha Iotefa Teha Ai, my great-great-grandmother.
Through that research, I know much more about my origin, my family story, and I'm happy to have discovered more about her.
The rosette is very interesting because it shows the integration of my Chinese ancestor in the Polynesian society.
Thanks to Mr. Shan Seifan, I know now my Chinese ancestors. He arrived at the beginning of the century. He was coming from Kanto. I'm really happy to know about my Chinese family roots, but I still feel Polynesian.
Young people of Chinese origin live like Tahitians today. In half a century, Chinese people have melted into the Tahitian population.
Now many young Chinese people marry Haitian people or even French people. There is a big mixity.
Polynesians today are a mixture of European, Polynesian, and Chinese culture. But Chinese culture begins to lose itself because young people do not value it.
My three children are very well integrated, but they all forget their Chinese culture.
But, as Mr. Shan Saifan says, it would be better if young people connect with the Chinese culture. Many parents want their children to learn Chinese and thus keep the link with Chinese culture.
I have two children, 12 years old and 9 years old. They speak French. They are also well integrated. They speak French and as well the Chinese official language, the Mandarin.
And now they have the possibility to learn Mandarin. So all my three children learn Mandarin.
It's very important to find my roots and my identity.
In our house school, it is possible to learn Chinese, and a Chinese Day is organized every year for young people to discover the Chinese culture.
记得吗？高兴？是啊。不累吗？你不累吗？不累。好，行。
Hi everybody, my name is Maxime Bonturin. I'm the Chinese teacher of Aorai High School in Tahiti. I lived many years in China a few years ago, and I arrived in what we call the Whenua, Tahiti, here 3 years ago. And since I arrived in this high school, we have more and more students who want to learn Chinese. Some of them are from Chinese background. Some of them want to learn Chinese because they think that they can use it for the job, and it could give them more opportunities to find a job here in Tahiti. But another part of our students decided to learn because they are from Chinese background and they want to keep a link with their cultural heritage, and they want to understand the culture of their parents and grandparents. So that's why every year we organize here in Aorai High School a Chinese Day, and during this Chinese Day we offer students the opportunity to learn some traditional activities, and for them it's also a good opportunity to know more about a very common and popular traditional culture.
On the occasion of the Chinese New Year, we organize at school a Chinese Day. We can learn how to do some cutouts, how to cut some pieces of red paper, some traditional signs, symbols, forms and characters. Those paper cuts are used to attract luck and happiness and are sticked on doors or windows. We can learn also calligraphy, how to write some traditional characters with a calligraphy master. We learn also how to play mahjong. It is a very famous traditional game in China. It is commonly played by 4 players. It is a game of skill, strategy, and calculation, and it involves a degree of chance. We learn also how to use the abacus. It is a calculating tool. It is like a computer without the electronic part. We used some wooden balls to make calculations. And our teacher, Mr. Venturin, showed how to cook the Chinese dumpling, which are ravioli, and we can eat them. We discover as well the Chinese lions. 2 lions come in our school and we can feed them with money, which is a traditional activity in China. It symbolizes also the need to be protected by the spirit of the lions.
Here in Tahiti, every Chinese New Year, especially in our school when we organize this Chinese Day, we can have the visit of the lions. It's because most of the Chinese people here are Akas, and they come from south of China as the lions. The lions also comes from south of China, the Guangdong province, and it cannot be seen very often in the northern China. When the Hakkans immigrated to Tahiti, they brought along this specificity from their province. So this year our Chinese cultural event was more special than the other years because we've been very lucky. We have been helped by the students from the Erasmus group It's My Life, It's My Choice, and they gave a lecture for our students about the Chinese immigration in Tahiti, and they helped us to organize the whole event, and it was great. We thanked them a lot. It was very nice to cooperate with the Erasmus group. So.
Yes, our Erasmus group enjoyed a lot to participate in our Chinese Day. It was very interesting because we discovered the Chinese culture. Today, contacts with China are growing. China is investing in Tahiti, and it will be interesting later to get the word. I have some Chinese blood, but when you look at me, you can see that I've got a Chinese ancestor. Learning Chinese language at school. I spent 1 month in China last year. I really hope to come back once again over there to continue my genealogy because it stops to my Chinese great-grandfather. Then I will be very happy to learn Chinese deeper and learn more about the culture of my Chinese ancestors.
The Polynesian society of today is the harmonious result of a historical meeting between people. I am a part of the 3 cultures. I don't feel Chinese like those of China, neither European like those of Europe, and I have my Tahitian culture. I take the best of 3 cultures. It's my life. It's my choice.
Wahirima oa te a awiti ha'ara e ooto iruto ina mteji e turu ima iri. Te aturi mātou e vei noa te rata amur ato tātou. E aroha i arhei.
Dear Erasmus friends, we have been very happy to work with you during these 3 years. We really hope we'll keep in touch. Remember, I take my life into my own hands. It's my life, it's my choice. Love to all of you.
我们这3年一起工作非常高兴，真希望可以保持氧气，是我的生活，是我的生死。